Good morning and welcome to the Long Island Matchmaker Show. I'm Lauren Defranco here with Maureen Tara Nelson, Long Island's only executive level certified matchmaker in the business of finding love for over 20 years. Good morning, Maureen.
Good morning, beautiful Lauren. I wish you could see what Lauren looks like today.
Oh, thank you.
It is still snowing out here, and she has this stunning coat with white and, is that animal leopard things?
I look like Cruella de Vil.
Yeah. Oh, my God, yes. But
It's faux fur, though, let's be honest.
yes, but stunning, stunning.
And I thought of you this weekend
Yes.
because I'm gearing up for that horrible holiday that we call Valentine's Day.
Every day is Valentine's Day with what I do. So
Right.
It is not horrible. You're going to go through my boot camp. You are going to be my star success story with my boot camp. So you will
Okay.
no longer think of this as horrible.
Well, I'm trying, but what do we say now? We only 2 weeks from Valentine's Day, the deadline, the D-date. What do you say to people out there who are dreading going into this particular holiday single, and you are the dating coach to go to? So what do you tell people?
Stop thinking of it as something negative, as my Lauren girl has been doing, because it's something wonderful. It's all about love. Doesn't necessarily mean you have to be married or have a boyfriend or a girlfriend. You can love your mom and celebrate Valentine's Day with your mom and get her chocolates. You can be super close to your dad, and your dad will get you chocolates for Valentine's Day. It's just showing love, and you personally showing love to everyone in your life and in your circle, and that's going to make you feel good. So just concentrate on putting the love out there, and when you do that, that's what comes back to you.
Well, I wanted to ask you, should I take myself out to dinner on Valentine's Day, or should I stay in and watch a movie and pretend that it's not Valentine's Day?
Never, never go out to dinner by yourself on Valentine's Day or with someone that you're dating 3 months or less.
Really?
Only
3 months or less?
Yes.
3 months is a big marker, though, no?
Well, that's kind of the defining factor that I use. However, I don't like it because it's so commercialized. I definitely do not recommend, if you're going out with someone 3 months or less, do not go out to dinner on Valentine's Day because of how the restaurants have it set up. That it's a priced fixed menu, it's crazy expensive.
Yeah, they try to rip you off on Valentine's Day.
It's going to be so crazy crowded, and then you're putting yourself under so much extra stress if you're in a new relationship. But certainly don't do this to yourself if you're alone, because really, not that it matters what other people care. It doesn't.
Or
but
think.
You don't want to stick out like a sore thumb just because it's not going to make you feel good.
You don't want to throw a pity party for yourself.
No, just find someone that you love. Could be your brother, could be your best friend, and just do something fun that's going to make you happy. Because even though with me, and I say this all the time, every day is Valentine's Day at MTN Matchmaking, but the reality is that it is just another day. That's it.
Well, I agree with you, but at some point it does put a lot of pressure on perhaps those 25-year-old women and men who are at that point in their life where they're thinking, I should really have someone in my life to share this Hallmark holiday with. And so it is a lot of pressure probably for people who have that time clock ticking. You know?
Okay, well, this is why we're going to have the boot camp sometime in March.
I can't wait for that.
Yeah, because look at how you presented that. Now, the way I would present it is totally different. There's not what you just said. Just repeat that.
There's
to
no
me.
time clock ticking?
And before that.
That there's a lot of pressure?
Yes. No, there's not. Who said there's pressure? It's
I think
just
people
another
feel
day.
pressure, though, because society puts pressure on younger people who don't have anyone, and they make you feel like a pariah. if you don't.
But the good news is you're not. So who cares what society thinks? Who cares that your best friends are all married? This is about you taking charge of your life, being the best you can, finding all positive things in your life that you could feel blessed with, and just realizing that Valentine's Day is a day of showing love. That's it.
Well, I have to tell you a funny story. So I got my hair highlighted yesterday, and I said to my hairdresser, "Oh, my hair looks amazing, but I have nobody to go out with tonight." And I said, and we just started chuckling, and she goes, "Well, you could be married and have the same situation." I'm not going to say who my hairdresser is, but I said, you know what? I know that a lot of married people are in situations where they're not feeling a lot of love or affection, which is sad too. But you can feel alone in a marriage as well.
Yes, of course. But I just like to mention, as I always do, the one good thing that came out of the pandemic is that, as I always say, a relationship and a good relationship, you have to be compatible and you have to have chemistry. So when the pandemic first happened, those couples that did have compatibility, they're now thriving and they're closer than ever. And they've realized we got through one of the hardest, most difficult situations that any relationship can go through, being stuck together 24/7.
And that's a lot of alone time.
It's a lot of time to
Together
be
time.
with someone. And if you are compatible, you'll notice that you do have a stronger connection, and now you feel empowered that you can go through anything now. Now, on the flip side, say if you were in a relationship that was built only on chemistry, not compatibility. The first month of the pandemic, what we saw happening was couples having as much sex. I could say that, right, on KJOY?
Oh, yeah. Sex is a three-letter word.
My favorite word. I just love saying it for some reason.
It's actually not a swear word either. It's sex.
Okay,
we can say that.
Okay, so what we found was that there was so much sex happening because couples were really just having chemistry, not compatibility. Now,
well, they were bored too.
Yes, and 9 months later, all of a sudden, all these babies have been popping out there.
Well, I hope those couples stayed together.
Yes, well, but the sad truth of the matter is, as I always say too, compatibility breeds chemistry, but not the other way around. So most of those couples, and I know so many of them because they've come to me and joined, they did not stay together because they did not have the inner core values of being compatible.
So my takeaway is, if you're single, there's a lot of more single people out there who didn't make it through the pandemic.
Yes.
So that's why you need to call Maureen and figure out your love life, because there are all those single people who broke up during the pandemic.
And again, since the pandemic, it has made people realize that they don't want to be alone. And we weren't meant to be alone. We're all loving creatures that desire love and passion and intimacy.
Human touch.
Yes. Even if someone, say, like my new guy who's 91.
We're so excited about him.
I can't wait to talk about him later, I hope.
Yes.
Okay. So, I'm sure he is not looking for a sexual relationship, but he told me he wants to cuddle. He wants to, stay together with someone and embrace them and be affectionate with them.
Imagine that. A 91-year-old still has hope of finding love. That's actually an amazing quality that he has, that he still wants to cuddle with someone and Netflix and chill.
We love him. So our upcoming charity event for Valentine's Day, which we will give you the details on my social media.
When we have them.
Yep. We will be doing a auctioneer of bachelors and bachelorettes for a fabulous charity. And I am going to ask our favorite 91-year-old if he will do it.
Which is very exciting.
Yes.
But I think that if people want to learn more about the auction,
Yes.
we'll have to supply you with some information about that. It's going to be a really fun event for Valentine's Day.
And, you know, I just love KJOY with this Long Island Matchmaker show. You know, this is the greatest feeling in the world. Thank you, everyone, so much for not only watching on a Sunday morning, 7 a.m., but also for writing in your questions to us. Because also, we have a whole bunch of questions that you asked us, and we're definitely going to be answering them. But I just wanted to take a minute and say thank you for listening to the show. And I've been receiving such beautiful feedback from people, and it just makes me very happy and blessed. So thank you.
Yes, and thank you for all of your terrific questions about love, finding love. And, you know, we always talk about something that's going on in the media. So I saw this, and I actually saw it live on television, but Drew Barrymore, who I love
her.
And she says she's never getting married again, by the way, but she does want to find love, and she's single. And she had Kate Hudson on the show this week, but she said she remembered having an open relationship with Luke Wilson in the 90s, and she said it was fun. And when you're young, it's low stakes. So we got a question about open relationships.
Which was just ironic, by the way.
And how do you feel about open relationships, Maureen? Do you think it's okay to have an open relationship?
Well, with what I do, all of our clients are looking for a committed relationship. So, of course, I'm totally fine with people that want and enjoy open relationships. It's just, it has to be a committed relationship with that person with you. So you both as a couple will have the open relationship.
Meaning that you have to have a discussion that it's okay for you to venture out of the boundaries of that committed relationship.
Because you're still together, you still love each other, and that excites you. So you're looking for a committed relationship with your partner. It doesn't matter what you and your partner are doing, obviously, as long as it's safe and you're not hurting anyone. So
right. You can't just decide on your own that you're in an open relationship.
Didn't I tell you?
Oh, I forgot to tell you that I'm dating as well. I'm dating other people.
Don't mind the guy in the bed.
Well, I've been in a few situations like that where I've come to find out that there were other people involved, and I wasn't down with that. That didn't work for me.
Well, again, that's why it has to be
mutual.
Yes, and so if you were in a committed relationship and he did not tell you that, of course you would have a problem with that.
Well, it's like a newsflash. Guess what? You're not in a committed relationship because that person didn't sign off on that. But but it's also a deceptive if you don't have the discussion.
Yes. But if you do,
it's okay.
It is totally healthy, again, as long as you're not hurting anyone.
Okay, so let's...
and as for Drew Barrymore, I can close my eyes and literally match her up.
Well, we're going to have to figure out how to get a meeting with her because she's so adorable.
Adorable is the perfect word for her.
And she's sweet. She seems like a very, I don't know her personally, but she does seem very sweet.
Yes.
So let's go to some other questions. All right. So this, I'm going to tie into Valentine's Day, but what are your plans for Valentine's Day? I guess one of our listeners wants to know.
We make fun of this all the time when we do our Friday Facebook Lives. If you watch that a lot of times people do ask us personal questions, and I just don't get that, but thank you, because I guess it is very nice that people want to know these things. But for me personally, I am going to be planning the auction for charity for Valentine's Day. So I will be, as I usually am, working. But this year, in particular, Valentine's Day on Long Island is going to be the most exciting time ever. if you're going to participate in our auctionee with bachelors and bachelorettes, all for charity.
Yes, and it'll be interesting to see who's going to be on the auction block. Is that how they say it?
Do you know, I just came right from the office, and I looked up 10 of my clients that I guess they're kind of my favorites also, but they are literally 9 out of 10s or 10 out of 10s. And inside also, because you know my philosophy, and my clients tell me this all the time. Don't ever give me someone that's great looking on the outside and the word ugly on the inside. We don't have that. We don't want that. I don't know anyone who would want that. So these particular people that I just happened to look up would be perfect. And I can't wait to hear their answer to see if they will be open to this. And then say if anyone is listening and you're single and you think that you would like to be one of our bachelor or bachelorettes for charity, please email me at Maureen at MTN Matchmaking.com. Send us your photo and why you would want to be part of this auction for a very good charity for autism.
Oh, wonderful. So, you know, we're in the month of February and the weather is a little bit tricky right now. And this came in, and I'm not really sure why, but is a date night during a snowstorm a bad idea? I would think it would be a good idea. And should we just plan for a night inside or go out in a romantic snowstorm?
Well, again, that's kind of a win-win situation no matter what the answer is, because you could be happy and have a great time with someone you love, regardless of what you do. So my personal feeling is the older we get, the more
We
pleasure
like to stay in.
we will get by staying in front of a cozy fireplace. Just this weekend, my fireplace is being opened. When I say that, it's because, you know, my brother Kevin does everything for me. Best brother in the world. So he is going to be cleaning out my fireplace. He has all the starter things and everything.
So you're going to get ready to snuggle with someone.
Yes, as I am working with my laptop on top of me. But I definitely recommend that. Now, say you're 25 years old. There are so many fun things in the snow. Go into the city in the snow.
That's always fun.
It's
That's always
so
fun.
much fun.
I actually love going out in the snow, and if you have a Jeep or a all-wheel drive, you can ride around, and nobody's on the road.
Yes.
And as long as you're safe and careful,
Yes.
a snowstorm can be very romantic, and it's absolutely beautiful.
Yes, and go skiing for the weekend together.
Oh, that's a fun thing to do.
When I was younger, that's what I would do.
Right, and that's a romantic.
That's super
I think
romantic.
being cold and then being warm is always such a romantic idea.
And a natural inclination that singles are having with the winter is that, oh, I want to stay home. I don't like the cold weather. It's depressing. So if that pops into your head, pop it out immediately and start thinking of, what can I do to make this a positive experience? So if everyone who normally would think like that, start instead, and we're going to be doing this in the boot camp as well, thinking of alternative things that we can do so that when it snows, we're looking at the beauty of the snow and we're looking at different opportunities that we can do now that we can't do when it doesn't snow.
Right. And also during the month of February, you mentioned ski date, but a lot of people go away and singles go away too during the month of February. And this is a question from one of the listeners. Is meeting someone on vacation and dating them a bad idea?
Okay. This is one of my pet peeves. Just that, say you get lucky. And
not in the way you think.
Well,
fortunate. Let's say fortunate.
That would be even better. Say you live on Long Island, because that's all I know about. Only Long Island. So you live on Long Island, you go away to Florida, you're at a beach, and you meet someone on vacation also from Long Island. That's fabulous. Now say you're at that beach, you're from Long Island, and he is from California. No good, in my opinion, only because I have not seen success as much with long-distance relationships. Has it worked? It's worked once with me, with one of my clients, but I don't like it because it puts so many extra strains on the relationship, costs so much extra money that you might not think about. So my advice is enjoy the weekend, enjoy the vacation together, stay pals. Who knows, maybe one day one of you might like to move, but rather just try to find someone that lives on Long Island if you live on Long Island.
The other thing I think about meeting someone on a vacation is that you're in such a not real setting. You're in such a surreal setting, and you're in such a romantic setting. And then it's not real life because you're both not working. You're not undergoing the stresses of everyday life. So when you get back and you've got work and family and bills to pay, it's a whole different ballgame, right?
Yes. I would say most people on vacation are obviously in a different mindset, a different mode that they are when they're home working on a daily basis.
So basically, you can date after a vacation, but be clear on your goals and if the person lives within a relative
and again,
proximity.
That's the fun part of a vacation, that it could be going to Florida to get tan, but of course, if you had the opportunity to meet someone and to have the best week ever romantically, even knowing you're never going to see that person again, that's a win-win situation too. Why not?
Why not? Why not? Okay, so why does asking good questions on a first date matter?
This is huge because there are so many times that people talk about the hot topics, which is never a good idea. So
politics, religion, stay away from all that.
Yep. Never discuss that on the first 3 dates.
Now it's COVID, the vaccine, politics, religion.
And money. So, but you can ask certain really good questions that you won't have to ask to get the same answers and have it be uncomfortable. One of the things that I love to ask is about someone's past and growing up. Did they play sports, say, in high school and in college? Because that is a great inside view into if that person typically is active, because former athletes are typically active or like to enjoy sports now to this day. It also shows that you're a team player and you know how to get along with others. So many relationships break up, say if they're on the internet, because they'll meet someone that doesn't have the skills of being a team player, and they're more of a person that really is only good one-on-one. Now, if if you played college volleyball and softball like I did, you need to be with someone that you can be with other people with. So that would be a major incompatibility to be with someone that is only good one-on-one. In fact, if you are that type of person, that you didn't play sports, so you didn't learn this at a very young age, which obviously when we learn things at a younger age, it makes it so much easier to retain and to live our lives like. So if you're one of those people that did not have that ability and you're not really good in groups, that will hurt your relationship until the day that you realize the benefits of working together, being a team player.
Well, I think, though, that you don't just have to play sports to understand that.
Right. But on the flip side, everyone that has played on team sports knows you have to be a team player. So you're absolutely right.
Right. I mean, you could come from a big family. You
Yes.
might not be athletic, but I also think, too, you should try to figure out how compatible you are with the person. So asking questions and not just talking about yourself. That's
Yes.
got to be a turnoff when people just talk about
Don't
themselves.
ever do that. Make sure that the other person is talking more and you are listening more. So if you are leaving the date and you don't know anything about that person, you know you've made a big mistake and you've done most of the talking. That's a boring date. Someone who
It's
is
an annoying
selfish.
date. Not only boring, it's annoying.
Yes, that they just want to hear themselves talk, and that's not going to lead to a second date. A lot of times people say to me, I can always get a first date. I can get the hottest person, but they can't get a second date. So then it
How's that
becomes
working
like a
out for you?
mystery. Why is this happening? And then there's certain things that give it away. For example, if then I'm talking to the person and they literally, I hate to say it like this, but they just don't shut up, then I know they're the type of person on a date that they just control the whole conversation.
And they didn't shut up on the date.
Right. So what I always say is make sure that the other person is always talking more. It's a good rule of thumb.
And I like someone who's a good listener.
Yep.
Even though I don't particularly love to talk about myself, but if you see that someone's a good listener, it's a nice quality.
Yes. Yes.
Because then you know that they're not a narcissist. And narcissistic behavior, as we always talk about, is bad. All right. So before we close, let's remind people that you're doing auction with very eligible bachelors and bachelorettes. And if you're interested, what are you telling people to do, Maureen?
Just email me at maureen@mtnmatchmaking.com and send us in your photo and why you would want to be a part of this. And also remember, this is for charity.
That's great. And also, I'm going to be on a podcast with my friend Krista Laurie talking about bucket list careers and my transition from news. So that'll be exciting. I'm going to promote that. And what do you want to say as a final word to people who are going into this February season thinking, I'm still alone after the holidays and now Valentine's Day is approaching?
Okay, just keep positive and recognize that you most likely just have not tried to do something different. You're still doing the same things that you've always done. So
And you know what they call that?
Insanity.
The rat on the wheel.
We
It's
always
insanity.
know that. Yeah. So you have to do different things to get different results. So just know with Valentine's Day coming, you have to try something new. Even if it's just going to my website, mtnmatchmaking.com. There's so much free dating advice on there between the videos and the blogs and the silly videos like the Friday Facebook Lives. You know, you could just hopefully learn all about dating for free, or you can just come to the Valentine's Day event to meet other single people or even participate as a bachelor or a bachelorette.
Oh, I wanted to ask you one more thing.
Yeah. What?
There's this big question going on the internet. Do soulmates exist?
Yes, of course. And I believe with my 20 years of matchmaking that God gives us more than one soulmate. So for those who unfortunately have been widowed, I really love working with my widowers. And I take a special interest, as I did with my own dad when that happened. So just as long as you've had hopefully that talk when you were alive, when he or she was alive, it is really nice to get out there again. You're never going to replace that person ever. But again, like I said, we're not born to be alone.
And you can have multiple soulmates during the course of your life because
Yes, of course. Love is
someone said
all
something
around
beautiful,
us.
that it's a mate that helps you find your soul.
Oh,
I
that's
like
great.
that
I love
definition
that.
of it.
Love
because
that.
I think that's a healthier definition of a
Yes.
soulmate.
So don't be afraid to find love. Just project the positive energy everywhere you go. When you wake up in the morning, thank God for all of the blessings that you have, and tell yourself you are going to find love, and you will see that it will happen. And thank you so much for listening to us. Thank you, Lauren, for always organizing this. It's fabulous.
Thank you for listening. And
thank you for listening.
Have a great weekend. Yes. I'm Lauren Defranco.
Maureen Tara Nelson, and we'll talk with you next week.